Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Club Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a good. What day are we on? Wednesday, wherever we are around the world. I did have to check then what day we were on. But how are we, chat? Hopefully, everyone's good. Hopefully, everyone's well. And yeah, welcome back to the Club Council. Apologies, we haven't been live as of a couple of days. Of course, life has been pretty chaotic. So again, I apologize for the lack of content, but still, Liverpool have been firing as of late. Again, beating Everton the previous weekend, and last night beating, of course, Southampton by 2-1. And look, let's not lie about it. It was pretty much a, a job just about done. But look, at the end of the day, I do think Liverpool need to be doing a bit better, and certain individual players need to be doing a bit better when called upon. I think last night, especially, we did see that a little bit. I think we saw some individual really good performances, but I do think as an overall team, I don't think Liverpool did so well last night. And again, that might be just due down to Liverpool obviously not playing as much, but still also, I think there is certain players that didn't step up last night. But yeah, I want to know your guys' thoughts, of course, on last night's game. Let me know your guys' thoughts and reactions down in the comments. For me, look, again, obviously the big news that has broke since last night, of course, is unfortunately Giovanni Leoni is now out injured. Looks like it's going to be a 9-month injury. Of course, he has an ACL injury, which is horrific, especially for the pretty impressive debut of Giovanni Leoni last night. I thought he had a very, very good game for Liverpool, but unfortunately, that injury, that it didn't look like anything, did it? It didn't look like he committed himself too much, or it wasn't a harsh foul. It was just one of these ones that an ACL injuries, they happen like that, and it's unfortunate now that he is going to be out for 9 months, and possibly now the World Cup, he could possibly be out of that. Liverpool have said that he will return before the end of the season, but as we know, with ACL injuries, you have to take time with them. And look, obviously my first thoughts are with him, because I thought last night he had a really, really good game. I think him alongside Federico Chiesa, I thought they were both man of the match last night. I thought Giovanni Leoni really, really stepped up in his first appearance for Liverpool, and he looked excellent, didn't he? But unfortunately, he is going to be out now for 9 months with that ACL injury. But yeah, what a blow! Because again, Liverpool bought him in the summer. Big money for a teenager as well. Hopefully he will come back better. Again, evidence of this is the likes of Virgil van Dijk, and even Florian Wirtz as well. Florian Wirtz had 2 knee problems, one including an ACL. So hopefully, luckily he will come back better and stronger. But yeah, such a big blow for his potential. And of course, now Liverpool possibly are looking at replacements in January. So that will be an interesting point as well. But going back to the game, personally, I thought he was excellent yesterday. I thought, like I said, for you guys, for me, I thought he was up there with man of the match. I know plenty of people would say Federico Chiesa as well. I personally would have put it more towards Leoni. I thought he was excellent from minute 1 to minute 90. Well, before he came off, sorry. So, but even still, both of them were excellent last night. But yeah, I want to know your guys' thoughts on Leoni as well. But Callum says Connor's alive. Here we go. Yeah, no, I am alive. Just again, the worst point about it is it was my nan's birthday. So yeah. So basically, I was prioritized with that over the weekend, so there was no stream with that. And then yeah, this week, yeah, it's just been crazy busy. So again, I apologize for that. Shows and streams will come back probably all week. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, no, we should be back now proper. But yeah, it was just chaotic week. But Afternoon Con looks like Chiesa is to be added to the Champions League squad. Such a shame about Leoni's injury. Well, evening Doug, and yeah, no, Chiesa will be back in the squad for Liverpool, which is some benefit at least to the attack. But like, obviously, it's gutting, isn't it? Oxlade-Chamberlain 2.0. Hopefully not. Cal, because again, I don't think Ox ever recovered, did he, from that ACL, unfortunately. The lucky thing for Giovanni Leoni is the fact that, again, he's a teenager, he's young, but you never know how a player is going to react from an ACL injury. It's one of these ones, isn't it, where I think for me, obviously the evidence in more recent years, players do come back pretty decent after it, but also it's that little sense of, players are never the same after it. And even Virgil van Dijk, to an extent, Virgil van Dijk was never back to his physical self, I would say, before his knee injury. But again, I think Virgil van Dijk, since he's come back from his ACL injury, has been superb. Obviously, of course, apart from 22, 23, but again, Liverpool was a mess in itself in that time. But yeah, I think Liverpool did really well by Van Dijk and not bringing him back too soon. I think Manchester City have kind of done it a bit too soon with Rodri, for example, because again, you never know how Rodri's going to react to injuries and so on. He's been injured, for example, for Manchester City a couple of times since coming back from his ACL injury as well. So, look, hopefully it won't be too bad for him, and he will be back better next season as well. Excuse me, because again, I don't think Liverpool are not going to risk him for this season now. Not at all. I think we will allow him to have the full recovery for the season, unless, of course, he makes a miracle in therapy. But Robertson centre back up now. Yeah, would have been great. Is it possible to recall Costas for 6 months, possibly? But yeah, it's not great, is it? But welcome back on missed you as well. Well, it's good to be back. It's good to do streams, and that, like I said, we will be back to more regular shows. I'm gonna try and do. We're gonna try and do more pre-recorded stuff as well, because again, I like to do these things where we talk about other things, we could talk about obviously individual players and that, and do certain shows where, again, I think the viewership on a few things, again, people like pre-recorded over live stuff. Again, I'm not saying live stuff's not going to happen, but I think pre-recorded stuff might take over a little bit than the usual stuff. But again, it won't be like, just completely stop live streaming. No, we'll be doing shows on every platform, like videos, shorts, lives, hopefully, anyway. Reece Williams avenging from 2021. Yeah, but he's still under contract, isn't he? I think was he on the bench? Hang on a minute, chat. Was he on the bench for the League Cup game? I'm trying to remember, because even I can't remember who was on the bench last night. Hang on a minute. Liverpool v Southampton bench. Was he on the bench? Yes, he was. He was on the bench last night. So, look, it could very well possibly be a thing, couldn't it? Cal, that Reece Williams is now Liverpool's number one backup then for the centre back position as well. But the one thing I would also say is obviously it was great, wasn't it, to see Alexander Isak. We've got him there. As you guys can see him celebrating. Again, it was great seeing him score his first Liverpool goal last night, of course. And look, people, if we did this last night, fuming at Hugo Ekitike, raging at Hugo Ekitike, like, what an idiot. Like, and don't get me wrong, he's young. Like he put it on his socials. At the end of the day, he's young. He felt it in the moment. Completely forgot he was on a yellow, and then the way it is what it is. But I think a lot of the problem that I think a lot of people was misrepresented is the fact that Hugo Ekitike will miss the Palace game, because I think Sky Sports on commentary said he won't miss the League Cup game, which is not true. Will not miss a league game. That's not true. He will be suspended for Crystal Palace. The same happened with Nick Pope a couple of years ago, where he got sent off in a Premier League game, but it also included the Carabao Cup as well. So again, if he was booked, if he was sent off in the Carabao Cup final, would have been obviously left out in the Premier League, and that's the annoying part about it. Because again, we have no striker backup now for the weekend. Of course, yeah, again, we can play Gakpo, you can play Chiesa at striker, but it's annoying that Ekitike is not going to be part of the Palace game. Because look, the Palace game is going to be a very, very difficult game on Saturday, because look, it's the two unbeaten teams left in the Premier League taken against each other. And look, Palace is a difficult team to play against. We've seen that already this season in the Community Shield. So look, it's going to be a tough ask on Saturday, but still, look, it's great though that the fact that Ekitike scored the winner and that Alexander Isak got the overall or got the first goal, as well. But look, it's a real competition now, isn't it? Because if one overtakes the other in the sense that Ekitike has been scoring goals left, right, and centre for Liverpool. But if Alexander Isak now has an opportunity, for example, if he scores a hat-trick on Saturday, imagine now the threshold of, possibly Arne Slot's thought process of, he's going to be the main starter. Ekitike can filter on the left, can be backup striker as well. Look, I don't think that's going to necessarily be the case. I think both will get plenty of minutes, because I've seen people already going like, oh, how does Arne Slot work this out? Would not surprise me to see them both at the same time at some point, but as for things right now, it's one or the other. Let's be perfectly honest as well. But what else do we have? I believe he's only 24. Yeah, Reece Williams, yeah, he's about 24, 25, isn't he? Which is mad. Gomez won't play as badly. Again, still a very good backup. Yeah, like I've seen a couple of people come for Joe Gomez after last night. Did I think Joe Gomez had a 10 out of 10 performance? No, but I didn't think it was as bad as what people were making it out to be. Like I thought Endo, Frimpong, I thought them two especially had terrible performances. I thought Jeremy Frimpong's worst game for Liverpool, and Endo, like that, like there's no pressure on him for that corner, none at all, and puts it back in the box. Look, it's a mistake, but it's a stupid mistake. There's no. There was no pressure there, and I think even there was a shout, I think, from Mohamed Ashrali that there was no one around him, and he still makes the header and makes the terrible decision to header it back into the box. And yeah, it is where it is. But of course, as winner again, Endo was left off the hook. But I did think Frimpong and Endo was awful. Why is my screen unplugged? Why is my screen unplugged? Hang on a minute, chat. Why has that stopped working? Why? There we go. You're going to see me without the green screen. The StreamYard is terrible. I don't know what's happened to it, but something's happened to it where it's terrible all of a sudden. But there we go. You're going to see me with the just a screen right now. Chiesa and Isak for Cal, Dan's Chiesa and Isak, or in order. It'd be interesting. Chiesa never ever let us down. Superb 9 out of 10 at least last night. Yeah, was excellent last night. No fault. Because again, chat, I'd ask you this as well. On Saturday, what's the front three for Palace? People would say Chiesa on the left. I've seen people saying that today. For me, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Isak, Salah, and maybe Chiesa. But I think again, Gakpo is the number one option, isn't he? As of right now. But we're a pre-assist from Endo as well. Endo thought he was Minamino. Hey, Minamino's a cup legend at Liverpool Football Club. Goes talking now. Jesus Christ. Chiesa, Isak for Salah as well. Yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed by that at all. I think, look, Isak and Salah starting next to each other. Again, we've not seen it as much yet, but hopefully, it was kickstart now on Saturday as well. But if we take a look then at the game as we look on FootMob, there we go. I wanted to quickly talk about this a bit more because, again, as you guys can see there, obviously Liverpool 2-1, Isak and Ekitike. But the big thing for me that I wanted to talk about is the fact that when you do look at the stats, and we will quickly, let me make it so we look at it a bit more in depth. But when you look at it, Southampton were unlucky last night. And again, I put it as the title, Liverpool scraped through last night. And we did. Look, I'm not going to say Liverpool didn't scrape through at all. I think Liverpool struggled last night. And of course, that could be with the amount of changes that we made. Like I mentioned, there's no team rhythm. There's nothing really, apart from obviously the usual suspects like Chiesa. Obviously, Isak's just about gelling in. Obviously Chiesa, like I mentioned, Jeremy Frimpong should have done a lot better in my opinion because he's been playing regular minutes for Liverpool. But again, you look at the overall stats, but there again, Liverpool having 61% possession of the ball, but it was actually Southampton who had more XG. But don't get me wrong, it is by 0.03, but it was 0.02, sorry, but still, like when you consider the fact that again, the possession that they had, look, it was really good for what Southampton did, considering their position as well, also in the Championship, because I didn't realise they were that low down in the Championship. But you look overall, again, Liverpool, of course, having more XG in terms of open play, but set pieces, Liverpool created 0 chances yesterday from set pieces, which is alarming when you don't have Szoboszlai and you don't have Wirtz there. But again, Liverpool obviously dominating all like the dual stats and defensive stats. But I think if you watch the game last night, and I think if you took it from a neutral's perspective, I think you would say that Southampton were a bit unlucky last night, in my honest opinion. And that's just me being honest. I think, look, as a biased option, 100%. Liverpool could have definitely, or I could definitely say Liverpool were miles better. But no, I don't think Liverpool were. I think it was a very competitive game last night, and Southampton were unlucky. On another night, if we didn't have the quality of Chiesa and Ekitike for the last minute, goal again. It could have gone to penalties, and of course we never know what's going to happen on penalties, and it's very unpredictable. And Liverpool again got lucky a little bit. I'm not going to lie and say that Liverpool didn't get lucky, because we did. But again, look, don't get me wrong. When you look even on the bench, the Liverpool team that played should have been fully capable enough of winning. That game last night, and thankfully we did. But again, it needed a bit of last minute winners again for Liverpool to make it through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. But Cal says, who partners Gravenberch is the real problem. I'd probably say Szoboszlai as of right now, because McAllister's not fit. As you say, but they Szoboszlai, Jones, McAllister. I'd go Szoboszlai because McAllister's not fit. Let McAllister, I find it funny that every manager says he's not fit, but then starts him. Arne Slot starts him. Argentina start him week in, week out. Let the man rest. Again, Arne Slot's tried to do that, but just give him time to have a little bit of a preseason, really, because McAllister didn't have a preseason. I think people forget about that a lot, because again, people criticize McAllister's performances. The man's not fit. Let him have a preseason for God's sake. Like we're currently doing with Isak. Can't forget Chelsea scraping. True. That was very, very true. Rivals won't be remember the Chelsea game because we only just scraped through as well. Yeah, true. But look, at the end of the day, Liverpool got the job done playing badly. And that's the thing that I laugh at so far this season, when people that go, oh, Liverpool poor, Liverpool getting last minute winners, this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, if Liverpool playing badly now, imagine when Liverpool start playing good. Like, that's the thing I always laugh at when people go, "Oh, Liverpool playing badly. They're not going to win the league. They're not going to win the Champions League. They, oh, the way Liverpool are doing stuff, that's not sustainable." I would agree it's not sustainable, but also if Liverpool are this bad now on winning games week in week out, when Liverpool start playing good, it's over for the rest of the league, and that's the bit that I find funny more than anything. Is the fact that, yeah, once Liverpool start winning games more comfortably and more dominantly, it's over for the rest of the Premier League, and they don't even know it yet, and it's funny. But the difference was top quality strikers will score even even in ragtag 11. Yeah, 100% Ollie as well. But I feel a sneaky late winner on Saturday again. I hope not. I hope it's a comfortable win. But again, it's Palace. Palace is always a difficult game for Liverpool. Like, there's only ever like one goal in it against Palace, and of course, with Liverpool trying to take Mark Gahey as well, of course there'll be a little bit more, I think, emotion there again. But still, I think when you look at, because I've seen people today raging and raving about the XG table that have Liverpool down in like 6th because, again, the expected goals for and conceded. It has Palace at number 1. And fair play to Palace, they've had a really good start to the season. But don't get us wrong, like, again, Liverpool, like we said, have not been playing good, but once things have started to click, for me, I think we look the best team in the league. What else we got? If Isak is at his fittest, he will score Saturday. It won't be late, but I see Chiesa starting and Gakpo left. What's a no Salah? Cal, what do you mean? What do you mean Chiesa on the left instead of Gakpo? Palace away is horrible. It's always 1-0 or 2-1. Yeah, it's never an easy game. Palace, and of course we'll be talking all Palace on Friday. But yeah, no, it's definitely it's definitely not an easy game. Like we saying that mind, 5 years ago we won 7-0 there. Like, no, was it 7-0 or was it 8? Was it 7 or 9-0 we won? I think it was 7-0, wasn't it? Where we just every time we shot, we scored, which was mental. But please no more late winners. No, well, to be fair, the pictures. If anyone's seen or anyone wants to go and see, like, go and look at the inside training videos and go and look at the posters that they already have up for moments of the season. At the minute, every single game has a poster. So yeah, the more and more it continues, the better it will become this season anyway. But yeah, 7-0. Thanks, Cal. And yeah, 9-0 v Bournemouth. I remember that one. But no, I can't remember if we beat Palace 7-0 or 9-0. My brain couldn't compute to what I was trying to think anyway. But look, last thoughts then on last night's game. Of course, it's disappointing the fact that Giovanni Leoni got injured. Thought he had an absolutely superb debut for Liverpool. I thought he was really commanding, especially playing on the right as well. I was surprised by seeing that he's playing on the right-hand side. So when we've talked about him playing alongside Virgil van Dijk, look, he could 100% have done that because he had an absolute stellar performance on the right. And when you take it into consideration that I think a lot of us thought that we'd be buying him to play on the left because, again, he's left-footed. Liverpool can, he can be very versatile now in that way. But I think when you actually looked at his games, I think obviously in Italy, he played a lot of games right back as well, which was a bit surprising for a left footer. So even by that, again, Giovanni Leoni is very versatile as a back four, similar to like Joe Gomez. But it is unfortunate now he is going to be out for 9 months. And yeah, just hopefully he has a speedy recovery and a good recovery as well, because like we said, ACL injuries are terrible. Again, you don't know how a player is going to react when coming back, and hopefully he'll be reacting perfectly to it, similar like Van Dijk, Florian Wirtz as well in more recent years for Liverpool players that have had ACL injuries. But of course, like you guys have mentioned in the chat as well about Oxlade-Chamberlain, that's another factor of it where it could go wrong. Even you look away from Liverpool, Rodri. Rodri, nobody knows yet how well he's going to do after he's recovered from it as well. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens. Great that Ekitike and Isak scoring as well. Obviously, not so great that Ekitike forgot he was on a yellow card and decided to take his shirt off because I think if anybody's seen the meme of Jeremy Frimpong telling him that he was going off, then yeah, it's not great. And I think Arne Slot was a bit pissed off as well last night. The fact that he, I think he said the perfect thing. If it's stupid, he is stupid, but he's young, he'll learn from it. And again, Arne Slot for me, like we talk about people in football being robotic, he's definitely not that. He's definitely seen it how we seen it. One idiot to do such a thing. But again, he is young. He's only 22. He'll learn from it. 23. He'll learn from it, and yeah, hopefully next time he scores a last minute winner, he doesn't take his shirt off while being booked again anyway. But look, like we said, videos are going to be back to normal on the channel anyway. Apologies, we have been missing, I would say, the last couple of days. Because yeah, it was probably the last video was probably a week ago as well, so apologies for that, but it should be back to normal now anyway. And yeah, hopefully I will see you guys around for tomorrow's episode. Yeah, tomorrow we're probably going to talk about midfield as well. Obviously we're gonna got a couple of ideas floating around as well anyway. But again, make sure you are staying tuned to our Twitter page, obviously the community tab as well. We'll post about it when we're going live or posting videos as well, so make sure you stay tuned to that anyway. And like I said, match preview for Palace will be on Friday as well anyway. But look, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your nights anyway. But yeah, the Reds are through to the next round, and we will find out tonight as well who Liverpool will play in the next round of the Carabao Cup. Hopefully a really good fixture for us anyway. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you guys a bit later on. Ta-ra.